Hi, hello, and welcome to the section Essential Functionalities used to preprocess the data. The essential functionalities mean the fundamental mechanics of interacting with the data contained in a series or data frame. These are the essential functionalities used in Pandas series or data frame objects. An important method on Pandas objects is reindex, which means to create a new object with the data conformed to a new index. Pandas provides reindex to rearrange the data according to the new index, introducing missing values if any index values were not already present. For ordered data like time series, it may be desirable to do some interpolation or filling of values when reindexing. The method option allows us to do this using a method such as forward fill, which forward fills the values while backward fill fills backward. With data frame, reindex can alter either the row index, columns, or both. When passed only a sequence, it reindexes the rows in the result. The columns can be reindexed with the columns keyword inside the reindex method. Here is the summary of reindex method arguments used in Pandas objects. Working with the Pandas objects indexed by integers is something that often trips off the new users due to some differences with indexing semantics on built-in Python data structures like lists and tuples. In this case, Pandas could fall back on integer indexing, but it is difficult to do this in general without introducing a new alternative bugs for it. With the integer index, there is potential for ambiguity. On the other hand, with a non-integer index, there is no potential for ambiguity. To keep things consistent, if we have an axis index containing integers, data selection will always be label oriented. So we can use log for label based indexing and ilog for integer based indexing. An important Pandas feature for some applications is the behavior of arithmetic between objects with different indexes. When you are adding together objects, if any index pairs are not the same, the respective index in the result will be the union of the index pairs. If the series objects used for arithmetic and data alignment have the same kind of index values with no missing values, then the resulting series has no change in the index values and no nan values in the data operation. If the series objects used for arithmetic and data alignment have the different kind of index values with missing values, the arithmetic and the internal data alignment introduces missing values in the label locations that don't overlap. If the data frame objects used for arithmetic and data alignment have the same kind of index values with no missing values, then the resulting data frame has no change in the index values and no nan values in the data operation. If the data frame objects used for arithmetic and data alignment have the different kind of index values with the missing values, the arithmetic and the internal data alignment introduces missing values in the label locations that don't overlap, and also a return data frame has index and columns which are the unions of the ones in each data frame. If we add data frame objects with no column or row labels in common, the result will contain all nulls. In arithmetic operations between differently indexed objects, if we want to fill with a special value like 0 or any other value, when an axis label is found in one object but not the other, we can use fill_values parameter inside the arithmetic methods. The arithmetic operation between the series and data frame objects is known as broadcasting. By default, the arithmetic between data frame and series matches the index of the series on the data frame columns, broadcasting down the rows. If we want to instead broadcast over the columns matching on the rows, we can pause axis is equal to index or axis is equal to 0, which is the parameter used in the arithmetic methods. By default, it is set to operate along the rows. NumPy universal functions also work with the Pandas objects. Another frequent operation is applying a function on one-dimensional arrays to each column or row. Data frames apply method will do this job exactly. By default, the apply method will invoke the function once per each column in frame. The result is a series having the columns of frame as its index. If we pause axis is equal to columns to apply method, the function will be invoked once for each row instead of column. The function paused to apply need not to return a scalar value. It can also return a series with multiple values. We can also use Python functions which are used to perform the operation element-wise instead of either along the row or column axis. Sorting a dataset by some criterion is another important built-in operation. To sort lexicographically by row or column index, we can use the sort_index method, which returns a new and sorted object. By default, it returns the sorted object by row index, but we can pass axis is equal to 1 or column to sort along the column index or axis. The data is sorted in ascending order by default, but can be sorted in descending order using the parameter ascending is equal to false. By default, it is set to true. In order to sort the objects by the values of the column of a data frame object or values of the series, we can use sort_values method. When sorting a data frame, we can use the data in one or more columns as the sort keys. To do so, we can pass one or more column names to the by option of sort_values method. Ranking assigns ranks from 1 through the number of valid data points in an array. The rank methods for series and data frames are the place to look. By default, rank breaks ties by assigning each group the mean rank. Ranks can also be assigned according to the order in which they are observed in the data using the method option. While many Pandas functions require that the labels be unique, it is not mandatory. Sometimes it is often necessary to have duplicate index labels at different positions in the series or data frame objects. So, we can use is_unique method to check whether the series or data frame object has the duplicate index labels or not.